Without some kind of perspective, it's almost impossible to understand just how big something is. For example, seeing a picture of the Grand Canyon versus standing at the edge of the Grand Canyon. The pictures look awesome, but being there in person makes you truly understand why they call it the Grand Canyon. So what I want to do today is provide some perspective on our illegal immigration issue. We hear about it in the news. The governors of Texas and Florida are sending migrants to New York and Chicago, and those mayors are now sending the migrants elsewhere. Some news outlets will say it's politics. Others will say that we have a crisis on our hands. Some politicians will say we need a border wall. Others will say we need to process the migrants faster. What I want to do is help you all fully understand the issue so that you can decide for yourself if there is a problem, how big it might be, and how we can make things better. So, this fiscal year, which runs from October 22 through September 23, U.S. Customs and Border Protection reports that 3.2 million illegal immigrants have come to our country, and the vast majority have been released into the country with a court date for their asylum claims. 3.2 million people is a larger number than the population of 20 individual states. That's more than the population of Wyoming, Vermont, Alaska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Delaware, Rhode Island, Montana, Maine, New Hampshire, Hawaii, West Virginia, Idaho, Nebraska, New Mexico, Mississippi, Kansas, Arkansas, Nevada, and Iowa. And since Joe Biden has been in office, in just 3 years, there have been more than 8.8 million illegal immigrants who've entered the country. That's a larger number than the population of 39 states. Added to the list I just read is Utah, Connecticut, Oklahoma, Oregon, Kentucky, Louisiana, Alabama, South Carolina, Minnesota, Colorado, Wisconsin, Maryland, Missouri, Indiana, Massachusetts, Tennessee, Arizona, Washington, and Virginia. Think about that. In 3 years, we've let in more illegal immigrants than the populations of 39 individual states. That's also more than the populations of Wyoming, Vermont, Alaska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Delaware, Rhode Island, Montana, and Maine combined. Now, let's put it into perspective another way. We often hear that illegal immigrants do jobs that Americans won't do, like agricultural jobs or farm work. There are 3 million people who work on farms in the United States, with 2 million of those being family members. So that would leave 1 million hired hands. In 2023 alone, we let in 3 times as many people needed to fill those jobs, not to mention that those jobs are already filled. So what about job openings then? According to tradingeconomics.com, there are currently about 8.8 million job openings. And let's be honest, most of those jobs can't be filled by an uneducated illegal immigrant who can't speak English. And for some more perspective, agricultural job openings only average about 115,000 every year. At the current rate of illegal immigration, those jobs could be filled in less than a couple of weeks. I would like to add that I'm not a fan of employers hiring illegal immigrants. It may make our strawberries cost a little bit less, but using slave labor seems wrong to me. Not to mention the fact that some of the illegal immigrants are kids forced to work physical labor jobs, and some are even put into the sex trade. That doesn't sit well with me. In the 2020 election, during one of the debates, Trump was asked about 500 kids for whom the government couldn't locate their parents.
The United States can't locate the parents of more than 500 children. So how will these families ever be reunited?
Children are brought here by coyotes and lots of bad people, cartels, and they're brought here and they used to use them to get into our country.
Trump is right, you know. There are many people coming to the border with kids that aren't theirs. So let's put that into perspective.
Whistleblowers are revealing that the Biden administration is releasing young migrant children into the arms of adult supervisors who have not been properly vetted with a background check. And that's coming from Representative Juan Ciscomani.
Now we have 85,000 missing unaccompanied minors.
All of those young children were processed through the port of entry here in the U.S., but now there are no sign of them anywhere.
Our government has lost 85,000 children. And I shouldn't say lost. They've given them away to unvetted sponsors, and now they can't locate them. And you can be sure that some of those children are stuck in horrible situations doing God knows what. In just 3 years, it went from vote for Joe because Trump's government has 500 kids and can't locate their parents, to 85,000 children given to strangers and now they can't be located. That's a stark difference. Furthermore, according to CBP estimates, since Biden has been president, there have also been more than 1.6 million gotaways, people that got into the country without being apprehended. Add that to the 8.8 million we know about, and that's nearly 10.5 million people coming into the country illegally since Biden has taken office. That's a larger population than countries like Austria, Greece, and Portugal. Now, I have my ideas on how we can fix the illegal immigration issue, but for this video, I just wanted you guys to understand the magnitude of the situation. It's big. And that's the simple truth. Hey guys, thanks for watching. And if you all want to support this channel, check out the links in the description, and let's keep putting some common sense back into the great debate.